Yo, 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 yo. What's up, what's up, what's up? Give up the rock. And hello to my fellow revolutionaries. You know who you are, and welcome to today's stream. It is Wednesday, the 11th of March. That's right, Wednesday. And it is a very important day on the working person's calendar. Hey, you know what I'm talking about. Wookiees knows. Top of the morning to you. How you going? And, can I just say, welcome to the Wednesday stream. Like I was about to say, it's hump day. A very, very important time of the week for the working class. It is a day of both bitter and sweet feelings. Bitter in the morning, sweet in the afternoon. You're halfway through the week. You know it's going to be a hard slug. But by the end of the day, you know you'll be sailing in to the weekend. Oh, yeah. Give it up. Give up your humps for hump day, ladies and gentlemen. We've got to take these small reminders to celebrate our working class culture. All of us. Okay, us plebs, us commoners, us members of the producer class, we got to take these little wins and little celebrations where we can get them. So get out there and hump your day away. And hopefully if you have the energy after the working day, you can carry on the humpies. You do it. Do it for you. Do it for your friends. Do it for me. Hump away. All right, yes, yo, what's up? Give up your Nepal election results. Yeah, pretty crazy stuff, isn't it? For yes, we were really investigating this heavily last year when it happened in September. If you're not sure of what me and 4IS are talking about here, we're having a yarn about the Gen Z revolutions that swept across the world towards the end of last year. And one of the more impactful or significant ones, I guess you would say. Maybe not, it has as much impact, actually. Should have had more impact, but one of the more significant ones I found was the Nepal Gen Z revolution that happened, because they actually toppled their regime. And they've had elections recently after all the craziness that happened about 6 months ago. It's a pretty intense situation in Nepal. And like we've spoken to people from Nepal there, like they saw some crazy shit, man. Like people died for them to get to this position there. So anyway, we're going to cover some Nepal stuff. Thank you for the little prompt there for IS Dilemmas. Time for some dialogue with actual reasonable commies instead of the crazy lefties losing it. Look, I saw your little post on the general chat, I think, Dilemmas, and what is it, like Rita from Sky News is in with that American podcaster douchebag, and like. Yeah, does she just talk for 2 hours about lefties losing it? Is that what I'm led to believe here? Hobo Joe, time to get that hump on. You better believe it. Let us shout out to Woozle for finding my safe space. LOL. Hey, I wonder what that's a reference to. What are you two up to in the background there? Wookie, nice camels. Do a little humpy today. Remag in the house. Yo, how you going? I wonder what KG and Himanshu think. Yes. Yeah, we were lucky enough to have a podcast with these, what are they? Our Nepalese correspondents last year to learn about the Nepalese revolution. Podcast coming soon. KG even said it's affected the Gen Z pop in Nepal. Quite a few of the community died. Yeah. And Dilemmas. Yeah, Rita was way too Iran-centric. Very little Ozpol. Obviously, a little praise for her lefties losing it. Oh, man, that's unfortunate. But yeah, we're going to cover that. We're going to cover Nepal. We're going to cover actually something that's happening right now in the US. So there's been a little bit of craziness going on in New York, like over the last few days. There was some anti-Muslim protests organized by some guy called Jack Lang. Some of the righties in the chat might know more about this than I do, but this Jack Lang guy, little proud quit, huh? Loser. Yeah, what's that about? Like, you know, he forged a coup, ultimately, against Susan Ley and broke up the coalition, and then he's just taken off. Eh? Yeah, Wrong Lang, I think. There's some guy, some right-wing influencer, I guess, in the US, some guy called Lang something, and like he was doing some anti-Muslim protests in New York City, I think at the front of Mum Dani's house, and then there were counter protesters, and somebody threw a bomb at these anti-Islamist protesters, I guess, and then that's further developed. That was a few days ago, and now there's been another bomb found in the area, and everyone's freaking out massively in New York at the moment. I wonder if Jag's here. Jag might be able to fill us in on this one. We'll have a quick look at that. Definitely have a quick look at that. I go into Tony Tonkin's live stream after you finish up and antagonize the left. Woozle was there ruining my fun. Sucked in. There you go. Hey, that's hilarious. I don't know who Tony Tonkins is, but like, good to know that you're over there fucking trolling people. I think Dilemmas was on the money. He doesn't want to be the captain of the ship as it goes down. Little Proud doesn't want to get the blame when One Nation steal all their seats. It's called the Alpine Divorce. There you go. When One Nation steal their seats, ha ha ha, oh my God, my sides. Captain Bucket not taking that one, it would seem, seriously at all. Guess we'll get into that. But yeah, shall we? Oh, look, is there anything on Little Proud that we can find? Let's have a look at this one. Shall we? Little Proud resigns. Hey, the Mr. Art of War, kia ora. How you going? Hope I said that right. We're about to find out. So yeah, Little Proud resigns. Shark resignation. Hey, yeah, it was so shocking. People were calling it, let's just say. I'm proud, but I'm tired. Little Proud resigns as Nationals leader. Little Proud steps down. Any highlights that we can watch? I guess we'll just watch a couple of these. All right, let's have a look, shall we? Australian politics off the bat. Straight off the bat. Okay. It's just a bunch of Sky News reports, really. Let's see what Channel 9 has to say about it.
Breaking news on David Littleproud, who has just resigned as leader of the National Party. Political editor Charles Croucher joins us now. Charles, this came as a surprise this afternoon, but David Littleproud is not quitting Parliament.
He's not, Deb. It's a shock. He had proven his control of the party room quite recently and proven in some ways control of the coalition, given the events that saw Susan Lee disposed of. David Littleproud saying only that he is buggered. He said he was confident in the coalition under Angus Taylor. He's 49. He's been leader of the Nats for 4 years now. His father was a Queensland MP under Sir Joe, so it's been a life of politics. Had a long-running battle with Barnaby Joyce after replacing him as leader. But in the last 12 months, there's been the big election loss for the coalition. Twice the coalition split. There's also been Mr Joyce leaving the party, Jacinta Nampijinpa Price leaving the party, and the rise of One Nation. Now, Mr Littleproud says he does not have what it takes to lead the party, particularly after some conversations with his wife. She was there beside him. Here's the former leader.
I'm buggered. I'd have enough. To lead this great party would be the wrong thing for me to do. I love the National Party. I grew up in it. I'll bleed till the day I die, green and gold. I love it. And it would be wrong for me to say that I'm the right person to continue to lead. That's tough for me to say. I think someone better can do it because I don't have the energy.
He says he spoke with the Prime Minister before.
Well, eh? Well, he's fucking piking out. Who would have thought? Well. Tony is a left-wing old bloke social worker, very anti-Trump, but will debate in good faith, which I respect. Oh, okay. So he's a reasonable commie, eh? Jag, Littleproud sounds like he's zero proud now. Bow! Take that, lame Australian politician. Eh? That's what you get. Eh? He's zero energy proud now. Eh? He's hitting that net zero target. He was probably constantly holding Dutton's hand anytime I saw him on TV. Now he's quitting because he's in the deep end and no one to hold his hand. There it is. What he is doing, lighting the fire now, just wants to watch it burn from the back seats. Yeah, somebody's going to have to be the leader now. Somebody else can do it. Throw somebody else under the bus.
For question time today. The pair have always gotten on pretty well, which is a surprise given they're on different sides of the parliament. He will stay in the parliament, stay in the party, and it's a party that is fighting for relevance and survival at the moment, as well as fighting that by-election in New South Wales seat as Farah.
So
Deb, as for the new leaders, the old leader, Michael McCormack, will be one of them in the mix. Current deputy, Keith Hogan, they're both from New South Wales, as well as Senators Bridget McKenzie and Matt Canavan.
What does this mean for
Breaking
Pauline?
news on-
I don't know, man. Not much. Like, if you have a look at the chat so far, Jag, Pauline is probably winning on this one. Like, the Nationals are our kind of regional conservative party, and it would look like One Nation and Pauline are going to clean up, potentially, in, like, regional conservative seats. And so, you know, this, like, a little bit more disunity in the traditional regional conservative party is going to just bode well for her. So I guess she just has to bide her time. So don't worry, your bae is fine. If anything, she's fucking cheering. Oh my fucking God, oh my fucking God, oh my fucking God. Jacinta Price might be the new Nats leader. Oh my in God. Could you imagine? Good, all going according to plan. Pauline will send Aussies to war in support of America. Hey, could you imagine? Like, you know, I don't know, actually. Has anyone got a clip or seen her speak on, like, in relation to this issue? What about the NZ position on this one, Mr. Out of War? Could you tell me, actually? Because I actually haven't seen anything. Usually I peruse stuff.co to get my New Zealand news, but I haven't seen much pop up in this regard. How is your political ruling class taking this one? Has Trump been on the phone asking for New Zealand to send supplies, send missiles to the UAE, anything like that, like what the Australians are doing? I would like to know, actually, what the NZ position on this one. And you can be our correspondent today till Voltaire gets in. Then he'll tell me as well. Jag, I want to know this, actually. I'm hoping that you're paying attention at the moment and you're near your screen, because I actually want to go to this quickly, because I need to actually I want to be across this situation. So there's a bomb squad near Gracie Mansion. Do you know what Gracie Mansion is? I'm trying to establish, like, why this is relevant for New York City residents at the moment. Would you be able to fill me in on this one? It is the mayor's house. So out the front of, like, so wait, slow down. People have been protesting out the front of Mamdani's house. Like, he actually lives there. It's like the traditional mayoral residence. It's like where they hang out. It's like a fucking actual mansion. Anyway, we'll get to that. But, like, there's been bombs found out the front of his house today in the park across the street or something like that. And there was stuff happening on the weekend out the front of his residence. Is that right? So are you across all of this? Hope everyone's okay. But, like,
Fox
I'm going to
News
Fox
alert,
News,
15
bro,
minutes
all
past
the way.
the hour, the FBI expanding the investigation into the two men who allegedly wanted to carry out a terror attack here in New York City, bigger than the Boston Marathon bombing. CB Cotton is hearing us some new police
Have you
activity.
seen that footage? Did you see what that guy just did there? So on the weekend, apparently there was some type of, like I was saying before, there was some protest going on, like a protest against Muslims or something, held out the front of Mamdani's house or near Mamdani's house. And there were counter protesters. And then some dudes from the counter protesters threw a couple of bombs. Or lit one, didn't go off, and then threw another one, and nothing kind of happened with that either. So, yes, there were protests over the weekend. Apparently, some counter protesters threw bombs. They're bigger than the Boston bombing. Okay, calm down, mainstream media. All right, calm down.
Seeing that now live outside of Gracie Mansion here in New York City. CB, what are we learning?
Hey, Sandra. Well, we are here in New York City's Upper East Side neighborhood. We're actually a couple blocks down from Gracie Mansion, which, yes, is the home of New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani. Right now, officers are investigating a suspicious device that was found in a popular park nearby called Carl Schurz. We've seen officers block off this area to traffic, and we've got members of the NYPD bomb squad and another command unit that are out here. Again, a suspicious device was located in a nearby park. Someone called it in. I'm told this by a police source.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What is going on here? Because, like, one, how is this related to what happened on the weekend? And two, like, what's actually the story behind this? I'm not sure I'm buying what they're trying to sell yet. It's too convenient with the war. So, like, all of a sudden now we got New York, eh? You know, there's bomb threats and stuff going on. We've got Trump alluding to the fact that Iran is going to do some type of terror attack on American soil at some point. We heard other people alluding to it yesterday. You know, brace yourselves, America. Iran is going to retaliate on American soil. And like, you know, here we have some sporadic kind of terror-related incidents happening. They found a bomb in a park near the mayor's house, and the man is he's a goddamn Muslim, hey. So, like, you know, it's all a bit suspicious, all of this stuff. Wasn't it reported that they were tied to ISIS, or they were pro-ISIS? Yeah, something like that. Like these two dudes that were part of this, they were inspired by ISIS or something like that. I was trying to get the story. We'll get to that in a second.
No one is being allowed to drive through this area, and we've also seen, we've also noticed that officers have bomb sniffing dogs that are moving through this area on side streets, going by homes just to look and see whether anything suspicious is uncovered. Obviously, this comes at a very heightened time for people who live in this area, because we know a terrorism investigation is underway after the FBI says two suspects brought homemade bombs to an anti-Muslim protest in New York City on Saturday. Thankfully, neither...
Well, like, what is that even anyway? Like, what is an anti-Muslim protest? Do they have anti-Christian protests in New York as well? Do they have anti-Jewish protests, no? Anti-Hindu protests, anti-Buddhist protests, or is this just like some type of crazy alternate universe where all that matters is the evil Islamists out there? And this is like, again, there's some right winger called something Lang, and he's been inspiring all this stuff, which has led to the craziness. It just seemed like after these two knobs, that's basically what they are. These two knobs have thrown homemade bombs at their oppositional protests. Now, conveniently, they're shutting down the area because they found another bomb. It does seem convenient, to be honest, in the context of, you know, they're looking for drumming up fears of terrorism and all of that sort of stuff on American soil to try and change public opinion for what's going on in Iran, which seems to be a bit of a shit show for the US and Israel at the moment. Let's be honest. Anti-Jedi protests? Yeah. I do anti-Jedi protests, but no one listens to me. I'm telling you, the Jedi Order needs to be brought down. That's how you bring balance to the Force. Dilemmas. Bloke throws bomb. Oh, he's Muslim. There's something sus. Bloke throws bomb in Oz. Oh my God. It's the white supremacist. No, slow down. I said it already. I said you have two knobs who threw bombs at protesters. I said, like, I didn't say anything about that. I'm talking about this incident now. So, like, all of a sudden now, after that event's happened, and like terrorism's, you know, back on the menu, boys, like, kind of thing. Now you have like a bomb kind of close to where it all happened, and there's coppers everywhere. Like, nothing's actually happened, but everyone's on heightened alert now. And, like, you know, what a place to do all of this sort of stuff. Like, New York got a history of it, and like, what a convenient history as well. Like, the same place was used as a justification for the war in Iraq, pretty much. Like, I said those guys, like, you know, they threw a bomb, they made a bomb, they're fucking terrorists, whatever. I'm not saying that they aren't, but like, this situation seemed completely unrelated. They've just all of a sudden just rocked up with the entire fucking New York police force. Looks like they're hanging out here. They're not playing Candy Crush though, which is the usual accusation from Jag. But like, they're just hanging out, somebody get the dogs in, and then everyone gets whipped up into, oh my God, terrorism, fear, and like, let's continue with our illegal war in Iran. It seems convenient. Those damn smug Jedis have been getting away with it for too long. I'm a Jedi born May the 4th, so I say the Force is with me. And it is. Are you actually born May the 4th, or is that just a joke? It'd be amazing if you were. I am one with the dark side. I'm referring to the reporting. Some basic events, but way different reporting based on bias. What, they're not calling it terror, though? I'm sure Fox would be. I'm sure they would. I've been told by our PM that I am a dark force. Hey? Ah. Well. Why? Because of the hard right. Eh? No, the far right, I should say. That's the new terminology. Yes, I am. 1977. On May the 4th. Crazy. Maybe the Force is with you. That's mental stuff.
Detonated, but police have said one of them could have caused a devastating loss of life because it contained a substance called TATP. We also know the investigation into these two suspects has now expanded into Pennsylvania, where police say the two men were from. We know overnight there was a controlled detonation at a Pennsylvania storage unit where officers also found more homemade.
So good. Again, no mention that the attackers were Islamists. I thought the mayor said the problem was white people. God, I love Fox commentary. It's so good. Can you picture a scenario where any of these migrants or sleepers are elected to Congress? Yes. Quite a few are politicians from the Democratic Party. The US is starting to feel like Detroit from the old RoboCop films. Can you imagine if any of these migrants or sleepers become members of Congress? The mayor's wife should be the prime suspect. Jesus. Far out. Who voted to bring millions of people from places that hate us, and who were we recently fighting to the US? Was anyone here asked if they wanted this? These are mostly peaceful bombs. Oh man, so good. The hardline right? That's so good. Actually, we should use that. It's the hardline right. They're associated with the IRGC. A former son of the Ayatollah. Almost 50, but looks 33. Family have a youth gene. All right. There it is. And they have the Force. So good. Once again, the comments have nothing to do with the situation. It doesn't matter. They're fucking hilarious. All right, I want to get information on the other thing that happened. Not this. Like, this is just... I think this is some type of weird psyop again situation. Or just fucking opportunistic shit. Someone's found a bag in the park and everyone's just like, it's a fucking bomb. Get everyone down here. So this is the guy. This is the crazy mofo right here. That's like appearing on everyone's screens. You've probably seen it, right?
Tonight, a chilling terror attack thwarted in the backyard of New York City's mayor. Chaos unfolding as demonstrators clashed and ran for safety.
This was not random violence.
Oi, Jag, is this Tish, bro? Is this Tish? Is this the woman? I only say that because, like, look at the necklace. Eh? Do you know what I mean? Eh? I'm sure Zio, Ran, and Tish get along really well, bro. That's her, all right. Bro, it's fucking Tish. Her and Mumdani get along very well, I'm sure.
This was a planned attack motivated by extremist ideology.
The FBI says these two teenage suspects encounter protesters stand accused of igniting two improvised explosive devices, or IEDs, and trying to detonate them in a crowd of anti-Islam demonstrators and counter-protesters.
Look at these guys, like right in front of the cops. They're just like, just light it, like pass it to me, like they're sparking up a J in front of the cops. Hey, pass it to me, bro. Have you got the lighter?
Outside the mayor's residence. One suspect is seen here, leapfrogging a man and hurling an object, which failed to detonate.
Had these IEDs functioned the way the perpetrators allegedly wanted them to, they could have caused death destruction.
The NYPD
So
says
see,
the
there it is.
nuts
Breaking
both
news. ISIS inspired. That's the terminology, Jack. There. ISIS inspired teens throw explosives in New York City. And like, why are they ISIS inspired? It's just like the people in Bondi. They're just like, oh, they're linked to ISIS. It's like, were they? Were they linked to ISIS? Right, because they had a flag and they went to the Philippines. But like, it just sounds scarier when you say the word ISIS.
and shrapnel were packed into the devices, at least one of which contained a highly explosive material that is extremely sensitive to impact, friction, and heat.
Both men were immediately taken into custody, and the devices they brought taken off of our streets.
19-year-old Ibrahim Kuyami and 18-year-old Amir Balat appearing in court this morning. Just prior, Balat holding up his finger in a gesture often used to show ISIS support. As the FBI and NYPD said both suspects repeatedly referenced the terror group after their arrest.
He requested paper and wrote a message declaring in part, I pledge my allegiance to the Islamic State. Die in your rage.
The Pennsylvania pair facing 5 counts, including supporting a foreign terrorist organization. Balat's attorney telling NBC News he's 18 and he doesn't have any idea what he's doing. As attorneys for both...
I don't know, man. That's pretty weak defense, isn't it? Like, he's just an 18-year-old. He doesn't know what he's doing. I don't know, man. When I was 18, I thought I was fucking God's gift to humanity. I was like, I'm 18, I'm an adult now. I know exactly what I am doing, and I will conquer the very the very earth itself. I was very, very fucking ballsy. Weird how Albo and Mamdani both have bomb threats where they live. Are the propagandists even trying, or they're just copying each other's homework? Yeah, who made the claim of Albo's one? Was it some weird Chinese sect or something like that? ISIS inspired source. I pulled it out of my fucking ass. No, it comes from the cops. The cops that arrested them, took them into custody. Of course. And we're passing on messages for them. Here, they asked for paper so we could write down messages so they could send home. I'm participating in society. I have paddled to work. No way. Floodwaters can't stop me, bitch. That's crazy. No way did you actually do that. You actually paddled to work? Or are you just being a smartass? I gotta know. I gotta know the answer to this. That's fucking crazy. They didn't have the time to write it on the bomb, so they made them write it on paper instead. Yeah, I know. Like, usually, I thought they inscribe stuff on bullets. Hey, I guess the police didn't have time to do that for them, so they've written it on paper instead. See, Exhibit A. I present this evidence. It was written by them after we took them into custody. Nothing sus here. She looks like the most animatronic form of the Thing movie. Who are we speaking about? Is it Tish? Tell me it's Tish. Unless you're talking about this dude here. Like, the most egregious part of this guy so far, like, until we find out what the motives are, is that fucking haircut. Like, come on, brother. Get a goddamn haircut. An Israeli, American, Saudi creation. What? ISIS? No, Tish. Yeah, Tish. Yeah, fair enough. It was the AFP that got spooked about the thread. What are you talking about for Albo?
Men requested protective custody.
And the NYPD at this time saying they have no information, Tom, connecting this investigation to what's happening overseas in Iran.
We thank you for watching. And
yeah, why would you even bring that up? And just to confirm, we have no information connecting this with Iran, but we're talking about it anyway. So it's in your mind. We don't have any information about it, but it's not connected to Iran. So, like, let's just drive that home. Like, it's relevant, but it's not connected to Iran. Did I say Iran enough for you to be conscious of that and have that in your mind? Okay, I hope so. Thank you. That's good. You have the same haircut as him. How do we know it wasn't you? Uh-oh. Oh, shit. I shouldn't have said anything. Isn't that your haircut? I feel you let your hair, your half... I let half your man bun out. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, he should have shaved the sides. That's what I'm saying. Like, what a douchebag. He's like tied up the man bun part and left the sides long. What's he doing? I've seen your hair down, E. Don't throw stones in glass houses. I knew that would get a reaction. Calm down, everyone. Chad cooked him. Yeah, the river's still too high and had to paddle across, jumping me out, and off to work we go. Damn. That is fucking commitment, bro. Gotta get paid. Gotta get paid. Yeah, Wookie and me working in tandem, like Solo and Wookie. All right, calm the fuck down, everyone. Calm the fuck down. All right, let's get a little bit more on this one. Where is it? Now, what's this? ABC America. Let's see if they have some more solid reporting on this outrageous affair. Okay, we're going to talk about Aussie troops in Iran. Whoa, 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 whoa. 1,000,000 miles an hour there, Captain Bucket. What Aussie troops in Iran? We don't actually have Aussie troops going to Iran now all of a sudden, do we? Can you link me or something? I haven't seen that. They've changed their position since yesterday. We just watched the press conference yesterday. They're already changing their mind on that one. Outrageous.
This morning, this angry toss of a homemade bomb during a weekend protest in New York City has 2 teens from Pennsylvania facing a terrorism charge.
This was not random violence. This was a planned attack.
Look at this guy. Did you see that? What the fuck is going on? The cops are right there and he's jumping the fence. He's just sparking up. It's like he is sparking up and he's about to get high on the side. He's like, yeah, give me the lighter. And he's just lighting it casually and then jumping. My bad. I'm in the Middle East. My bad. They're in the UAE. Whoa, 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 whoa. So, like, this is related to what we were talking about yesterday, then, I'm assuming. What's that for, I guess? Probably we're playing Candy Crush. Like, they're right there in front of this guy, and they're just, like, sparking up. It's like he's punching a cone. Like hold on. Like, right in front of the cops. And then they decide after he starts legging it to chase him. Crazy. Yeah, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Boreas, what is this? It's the Family Guy meme, the whoa, 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 whoa one. Oh my God, no way you found it, you fucking legend. I gotta love fucking old school Family Guy. It's so funny. Oh man, it's Facebook. Boo. It's funny already, just his face.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Lois, this is not my Batman glass.
So good. Oh man, one more time.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Lois, this is not my Batman glass. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Dude, thank you. Extra points for E doing a bong sound. Thank you. It was a good bong sound too, wasn't it? Like, that's what this guy looks like he's doing. And the cops are standing there playing Candy Crush, of course. Eh? Fucking hell. Look at this loose cunt. Cut the sides, bro. You're making me embarrassed.
This was not random violence. This was a planned attack motivated by extremist ideology and inspired by a violent foreign terrorist organization.
Police said the device 18-year-old Amir Balat hurled tested positive for TATP, an explosive used in terror attacks around the world. 19-year-old Ibrahim Kayumi is then seen handing him a second device before Balat ignites it, sprints down the sidewalk.
So this guy had time to throw one at someone that failed, or at a protester group that failed, and then had time to go back to his mate so they could punch a cone together in front of the cops, and no one did anything about it. What? This is fucking mental, bro. This place is crazy. I've got to say it, Jag. You come from one crazy, crazy place. There's like what? How many billions of dollars go into the NYPD, and they're just standing around let these guys punch cones on the sidewalk like this? Candies aren't going to crush themselves, are they? Hey, am I right? Am I right? Petrol prices went up here in New Zealand this morning. It's dominating my news feed here. Jumped quite high and going to get higher the longer the war goes. Yeah. And like, do you know, asking for a friend, asking for the Australians in the audience, do you guys have like fuel stores in New Zealand, like 90 days, which is the requirement for any international energy agreement nations or whatever the thing's called? Like, we're supposed to have 90 days of fuel storage here and we don't. We have like 30. And it's like people are panicking about that. $11 billion. There it is. Look at these guys here watching this cunt, like literally watching this guy light an explosive and then run, and they're just like, hey, stop it. And he's just thrown one as well. And they're just like, hey, wait a minute. That's the guy. There's your fucking $11 billion, right? I hope so, and I don't know. Okay. Hey, so good. Hey, you can't do that. You can't do that, right? I don't know. Somebody better catch him. And he just legs it. You know what he reminds me of, 4IS? When he runs like this and just jumps stuff so easily. He looks like fucking Jerry Poppins from behind. Oh my God, he looks like Jerry. Remember, we don't have fuel reserves in America. Just reserve crude, which has to be refined in Singapore before it comes here, and we use 1 million barrels a day in Oz. Like, don't you reckon? For us, it's Muzzy Jerry. Muzzy Jerry. Yeah, that's why Jerry Poppins hasn't been in the stream recently. We found him. We got him. We got him. Yeah, I heard that the other day as well, Dilemmas. That actually has to go to Singapore first and then come to Australia. But like the situation is there's a few countries that have this agreement as well. So like Singapore has to service a few people before it gets to Australia. Might be a little bit of competition. So I guess Jerry is known to be very athletic. No, like this guy, you should see Jerry jump a fence. It's fucking mental. So like that's not an impressive fence, but I'm sure this lanky man here could have jumped a few of those.
Hops a police barricade and is tackled while the thing is still smoking.
Make no mistake, what happened this weekend was incredibly dangerous.
An anti-Muslim protest by far-right provocateur Jake Lang was...
Jake Lang, that's the guy. Like, what is an anti-Muslim protest anyway? Like, are they against, like, Muhammad, the Prophet Muhammad, or something like that? Like, do they hate him? Is that what this is about? Do they think that religious freedom shouldn't exist? Very anti-American sentiment right there. I wonder what the founding fathers would say about that. Then we get the reserve fuel. It will only last us 3 days or so. LOL. I've seen Poppins run like that. Yes, so have I. And from the Cups. He was the dude that got run out of town in Minneapolis. Oh, yes. Remember he was cornered? He was up against the wall, like up against the glass, and people were like... And then he jumped. Didn't he jump into the back of like two people's car? Like, yeah, into the back of a car. And they offered him like asylum and then dumped him somewhere else where they found out who he was. I'd say if you ask them, it would include Sharia law, etc., etc. So it's not like general religious protests here. They're not against like religion and they're just going through the list. Today we're going to protest about Muslims. Tomorrow it'll be Christians, and so on and so forth. Yeah, Trans Tifa saved him. That Trans Tifa chick was in the car and she's like, I didn't even know it was him. Like, oh my God. And so we dropped him off straight away. But they were going to kill him. Israeli funds the extreme on both the left and the right. Interesting theory there. Eh? The hardline left and the hardline right. I would like to know more.
Clashing with a counter-demonstration outside the residence of New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani. There were no injuries, but federal prosecutors said both teens made statements referring to ISIS. And when an investigator asked one of them if he wanted to accomplish something like the Boston Marathon bombing, he replied, no, even bigger. It was only 3 deaths.
It's so funny, isn't it? It's just like, that's where the Boston thing comes from. They're like basically leading them with questions. Okay, so what type of terrorist attack did you want to carry out then? Were you thinking 9/11? Were you thinking Boston? No, not Boston. Bigger. All right, we'll write that down. we'll attribute that to you. Is there anything else that you want to say? Like, should we ask you some more leading questions? Didn't Jake get caught texting a supposed 15-year-old? Hey? Same critiques I'm sure they have for the Muslim faith. Naughty, naughty, Jake. Naughty, naughty. Like, just white supremacist dog whistling. They start these innocent claims like immigration isn't a racist thing to try and draw them in an alt-right pipeline and then open them up to more radical ideals. Radical, man. It's radical.
You can hear explosions in this video obtained by ABC station WPVI outside a storage facility in Pennsylvania. The controlled detonations followed a search connected to the two teens.
And those two teens are now being held on a terrorism charge and use of a weapon of mass destruction. An attorney for one of them told us he's 18. He doesn't have any idea what he's doing. But authorities say this is just the kind of threat confronting the American homeland, Michael, with America at war overseas.
Oh, yeah.
They said the thing. They said the thing. It's a manufacturing consent line. Like, these are 2-minute video clips we got here. And they're just like, and this is the threat that the Americans face in the homeland, considering what's going on with Iran. I don't know why I brought that up. It doesn't seem to be related. I'm not sure, actually, if two 18-year-olds that say they are doing this because it's ISIS inspired. I'm not sure actually how that has much to do with Iran at all, but we are reporting it. So it's in everybody's thoughts. Just remember, terrorism goes down and we've got to connect it to Iran. It's what we've been told to do, and we are doing it well. That's two. That's Fox that said that before. No, NBC that said it before. Now it's ABC News. I wonder if we'll get another clip. I don't know, man. The timing for all this is too good. And they're just bringing it up like nonchalant. Like it's not even related. And they're just like, and just remember, everyone, this is potentially what happens on the homeland, in the homeland, when we go to war. Completely justifiable war too, I'm sure.
A very scary situation there, Aaron. And the authority there, they're concerned about possible sleeper cell as well.
Yeah, ABC News had a look at an alert sent to law enforcement agencies that warned Iran may be trying to activate sleeper cells in the West. The alert mentioned an encrypted transmission intended for covert operatives who could decode it. Now, President Trump acknowledged concern about possible Iranian operatives waiting to strike. The alert said there is no operational threat tied to a specific location, but it did encourage police departments to look out for suspicious communications, guys.
All right, Aaron, thank you.
Whoa. So they can't talk about this story even for 2 minutes. Like, look at that. It's a 2-minute piece. And they have to bring up how this is somehow related to the war in Iran. They really want to change public opinion on this war, don't they? Divide and conquer, division from inside, eliminate resistance. Floods worldwide this year. We had 2 car crashes into floodwater in 2 days. Like you're talking about locally for you, right? A pipe bomb is a WMD? I don't know. Depends on the scale. Are we talking Boston scale here or not? I told you the other day that we were going to use terrorism to shift the public opinion. Yeah, it looks like it's coming out. Like that was a 2-minute piece on like just explaining what happened the other day with the protesters. And it turned into like, a good, 20 seconds of that, 30 seconds of that. So a quarter of that piece was trying to make sure everybody thinks about how this is somehow connected to Iran. We're not saying it is, but we thought we'd just bring it up because now you can't unsee it, can you? Huh? You can't unsee it now, assholes. WMDs are real. Baby told me so. Yeah, it seems a bit like that, doesn't it? All right, I have to do this because I don't think Jag would be very happy if I didn't do this. So I'm doing this for you, Jag, because you'd be upset if I didn't put him front and center and make you listen to the man. So this one goes out to our friends from New York who don't get enough of this guy. Am I right? Am I right? It's not related to Iran. By the way, have you heard these sleeper cells? Yeah, they just casually start talking about sleeper cells. Like people are just going to start activating themselves when they hear the YMCA played because Trump loves the song so much. The terrorist label is now just a political football. Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You should have seen how it was used recently in... Oh, you probably did. But like, yeah, it was recently used in Bondi. That was an interesting case study in that. Zyron and his keeper. Which keeper? Eh? The one over there with the nice necklace on? Eh? From the billionaire class of New York. Has been since Iraq. Yes. Yes, it has. This one's for you, Jag.
On Saturday, a protest was held outside Gracie Mansion, where I live with my wife, Rama. Neither of us were home at the time. This was a vile protest rooted in white supremacy entitled Stop the Islamic Takeover of New York City. I'm the first Muslim mayor of our city. Anti-Muslim bigotry is nothing new to me, nor is it anything new for the 1 million or so Muslim New Yorkers who know this city as our home. While I found this protest appalling, I will not waver in my belief that it should be allowed to happen. Ours is a free society where the right to peaceful protest is sacred. It does not belong only to those we agree with. It belongs to everyone. I will defend that right every day that I am mayor, even when those protesting say things that I abhor. Let me also be clear about something else. New York City will never tolerate violence, whether from protests or counter-protests. Many of the counter-protesters met this display of bigotry peacefully, with a vision of a city that is welcoming to all. But a few did not.
Welcoming to all? Yeah, unfortunately, the protesters didn't get that message. They seem to be very upset about the million or so residents you just talked about. All those Muslims hanging out in New York. Why are they even here anyway? Hey? Welcoming? I don't think the protesters agree with you there. I like that, man. Yes, blame the white Sauron. What could possibly go wrong? Did he? Did he say that? I don't think he did. Or are you just being a smartass? Or is this a reference to something else that he's done?
That is welcoming to all. But a few did not. Two men, Amir Balat and Ibrahim Kayumi, traveled from Pennsylvania and attempted to bring violence to New York City. They are suspected of coming here to commit an act of terrorism. There is video of these two individuals throwing two devices towards the protest. The police department has determined that these were improvised explosive devices made to injure, maim, or worse. Thanks to the swift and decisive actions of NYPD officers at the scene, both men were immediately taken into custody, and the devices they brought taken off of our streets. I want to commend the officers who were on site. They faced a chaotic situation that very quickly could have become far more dangerous. NYPD Chief Aaron Edwards and Sergeant Luis Navarro ran towards the danger.
Neither swift or decisive. Yeah, look at all the time he had to stand there and light the thing. And like someone was filming him. Like, who's the cameraman in this that's just like, he's filming, he's lighting it. He's lighting it. Anyone, do you want me to zoom in and get a better picture of this for you? And the cops just standing there. Should we do something, Bob? I don't know. I don't get paid enough to do this.
So that others could run to safety. They are here with us now, and I want to thank them today publicly as I did yesterday privately, and to thank the dozens of other officers who responded without hesitation. That is courage, that is selflessness, and I'm deeply grateful to both of them and to every member of the NYPD who works every single day to keep New Yorkers safe. As the NYPD continued their investigation yesterday, they found a third suspicious device in a vehicle on East End between 81st and 82nd Street. Out of an abundance of caution, they conducted a number of limited evacuations of nearby buildings before removing the device from the area. Once the device was removed, those evacuated were allowed to return to their homes. I am grateful for their continued work to keep New Yorkers safe. And let me say this plainly. Anyone who comes to New York City to bring violence to our streets will be held accountable in accordance with the law.
Oh, thank you, Zoran. There you go. That's C-SPAN. It was just some kids throwing IEDs. Yeah, come on, man. It's just some kids. Well, your police commissioner just debunked what you said. Just a friendly snowball fight. It was his supporters who got caught planting the bombs. Dun, dun, dun. Great handling. Hope attacks don't happen again. So there is an anti-Islam protest and 2 ISIS supporters show up and try to bomb them. Seems like they just proved the point to the protesters were trying to make. I don't know. Is that? That's a delicate point. It's an interesting take. Watch how Trump MAGA spins. Trump MAGA planted violence as proof of need to nationalizing of the upcoming elections. Ooh, that's a scary prediction, that is. Right-wing terror is more of a threat than Muslims. I mean, just look at Christchurch, New Zealand. Guy was an Aussie. Yeah, they're the worst. Fucking Aussies. Probably a Pauline supporter, lol. Our security might be elevated if she gets in, lol. What does Mamdani think about Luigi bringing violence to New York City? Yeah, I wonder. Doesn't like it. What point were the protesters trying to make? Yeah, I know. That's like, what are they actually trying to make here? I think Dilemma said something about Shia Muslims, like protesting against Shia law, maybe. Hey, are we talking shit on Aussies? Yes, Ravy baby, we are. You better goddamn believe it. Goddamn Aussies going over to New Zealand, shooting up the place. Where was Thomas Sewell? Hey, why didn't he return to the motherland? So, like, let's find out. Let's ask the research assistants, shall we? Let's get rid of the speculation. Apparently, there were anti-Islam protests that took place in New York City over the weekend, led by Jake Lang. I am struggling to understand what does one protest against when they take part in an anti-Muslim protest. Can you briefly list me some specific grievances they may have? All right, here we go. A small protest organized by far-right activist Jake Lang took place outside the residence of New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani at Gracie Mansion. The rally reportedly used the slogan, Stop the Islamic takeover of New York City. So specifically, it drew about 20 protesters and 125 counter-protesters, and clashes occurred. During the confrontation, a counter-protester threw improvised explosive devices towards the crowd. What are anti-Islam protests? When people hold demonstrations described as anti-Islam and anti-Muslim, they're usually expressing political or cultural grievances rather than protesting a single policy, yet obviously. This is often framed... Some activists claim that immigration from Muslim-majority countries could change Western cultural norms and demographics. It's about stopping Islam takeovers. Okay. So it's like the degradation of Western culture at the hands of Muslim infiltration, and so like they're gonna take over the country, I guess. Is that the thing that we're talking about here? In this case, the protest was partly directed at Mayor Zohran Mamdani, the city's first Muslim mayor, and his policies or symbolism. For some groups, anti-Islam protests overlap with broader anti-immigration and nationalist movements. Yeah, fair enough. Jake Lang, the guy who got beat up by Antifa, then got away in a lesbian couple's car who promptly dumped him off. Yeah, well, lesbian couple. One of them was trans-tifa, I'm pretty sure. So, like, double down on the hilarity of that situation. Hey, Jake. Hey, so good. I think we can all agree that the great replacement theories are very much white supremacist in nature. Well, they're very much fueling this type of stuff, it would seem. Like, people are concerned that they're being overrun. It says it, right? They're taking over. That's it. The Muslims have taken over New York City, all thanks to that Muslim mayor. It all goes downhill from here. I'm telling you, once he gets elected, that's the end of it. All these ideas of religious wars are really going to turn people off religion. I see what you did there. Good one. Seems like this sails better than a war isn't going to work out for the long run. Rogue, if you get bitten by a Muslim, you become a Muslim, zombie rules apply. I knew it. I goddamn knew it. Of course. My favorite part of that was him screaming, "My stuff! They took my stuff!" after the crowd robbed him. LOL. It's the little things, isn't it? Hey? The little things, Ravy, baby. We gotta take the little things where we can get them. It's the small joys in life. Fucking crazy. All right, that's it. I don't want to do this anymore. I just wanted to get down with what was going on there. Do you have anything to add, Jag, as our New York City correspondent? Do you have any insights? How do the New York residents feel about this situation? Are they coping well? I still can't believe how nonchalant that guy was, literally lighting a device in front of the cops, 10 meters away, and they were just staring at him. Just nothing happening. Oh, wait a minute. We should do something. Are the buses free and faster now? Eh? No one I've talked to this week ever even mentioned this. Wow. That's crazy. Obviously not the talking point that I thought it would be. Very interesting. You know who I have seen talking about this? I guess it makes sense. People like Asmongold and stuff like that. I guess that type of right-wing content creator would love this shit. Yes, non-whites replacing whites is the propaganda line used by white supremacists to target non-whites. Rogue, but they are, but you have to pay. They have to pay a gun for fair. I think they are dilemmas. He did manage to get rent stuff through, etc. They're definitely working on pushing through policy. Jack, it was 20 degrees for the first time this week. People don't give a fuck about terrorism. As long as they can go hang in the park. Whoa, slow down. Did you convert to this, to our system to say 20 degrees? Because that's fair weather, considering you're coming out of winter. That's a good. But I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit if we're doing that. But if you've converted, thank you very much for your public service. I understand what 20 degrees means. I can relate to that. Don't make me tap the side. So good. I speak international units of measurement. Good on you. Good on you. It's quite the skill, might I say. Quite the skill. Quite the skill. Mom Dani is probably responsible for the Muslim protests. He lies to the people and they believe it. Muslims attack and he leads with everyone has the right to protest. He is so sluck. The fuck is that? Were you guys reading that? There's not only were there spelling errors. What does sluck mean? Freedom units have no place here. Oh man. Savage. 4 digits. Definitely a bot. Oh my god, I didn't even notice. Yes. Definitely a bot. This bot can't spell. Eh? That dog won't hunt, Monsignor. That dog won't hunt. Like a slick fuck? Yeah, like what is it? Like he's so sluck. Yeah, I wonder if they're putting together terms. A slick fuck. Yeah. I don't know about slick though. I don't feel like this bot would call him slick. It's an Italian uncle bot too. Cohen, last name. I don't know, man. An Italian uncle bot would have had a lot more Israeli flags there. A lot more Star of Davids in blue. That would be for sure. Is this what you were talking about before?
In the Middle East is now feeling...
Captain Bucket? That we are deploying troops? Australia deploys troops and aircraft in the Middle East? 85 ADF troops and sophisticated reconnaissance aircraft. Maybe Tish's burner account. Could you imagine? She's in there, like, when Mum Dani's talking, you'll be like, this will get him. And I'm going to do it all in caps as well. Asshole. Can't believe he let me stay on.
closer to home. 85 of our ADF troops and one of our most sophisticated tech jets now sent to the war zone to assist the United Arab Emirates. The Prime Minister insists the move is purely defensive, with our allies under threat. But critics warn we're walking a slippery slope to full-scale conflict. And Foreign Minister Penny Wong joins us now from Canberra. Good morning to you. Has our aircraft landed in the region yet?
Good morning, Nat. Good
So good. I love how when the media gets all like excited about talking about sensitive military information, they're like, so can you tell us, have they landed? Have they started operations? How will they be used? Where are they going to be housed? Can you give me coordinates, please? I'm looking for longitude and latitude. Hey, asking for a friend.
With you. I'm not sure where the aircraft is, but as you know, we have dispatched a reconnaissance aircraft to the Middle East at the request of the United Arab Emirates, given the continued barrage by Iran on these countries who have not been part of the strikes against Iran, and given the number of Australians who we know are in countries that Iran is targeting.
So legally speaking, is Australia at war?
We're engaged in what's described as collective self-defence. That is, we are not taking offensive action against Iran. We're not providing boots on the ground to go into Iran. What we are providing is a capability that helps the Gulf countries defend themselves against the attacks Iran is engaging in. And you understand why. These are countries that have not taken action against Iran. And these are countries where a lot of Australians are. You've heard me say that around 115,000 Australians are in the region, 24,000 at the commencement of the conflict in the United Arab Emirates. We are very focused on doing everything we can to keep Australians safe at home, but also overseas.
OK, we're sending missiles, we're sending this aircraft, we're sending almost 100 personnel with it. We're also giving asylum to some members of this team. Tehran has labelled traitors. Do you think this makes Australia more of a target?
A couple of points I'd make. The first is Australians are already in countries that are being targeted by Iran, and that's the purpose of our deployment. Iran is already targeting where Australians are. When it puts missiles or drones into the United Arab Emirates or into Qatar or other countries of the region, we already have Australians there. The second point is just to really emphasise this. Iran has not needed provocation. We know that. Iran has already directed attacks on Australian soil, and you might recall, Nat, that led to the government expelling the Iranian...
Like, can people remember this case? Because I thought they were dispelled and it wasn't actually Iranian attacks on Australian soil. It was like... they were like false flag operations. They were like, gang members or something, like organised crime members that were like paid to do these things on Australian soil. It wasn't actually Iran at all at the end of the day. At least one of them was some type of weird false flag operation, if I remember properly. Someone's got to have to help me remember this. No one believes it's Iran. Oh, come on. No one believes it's Iran. I did sausage in the house. How you going? What did you write before? Star of David is symbolic representation of the Maori word. How do you say that? Wairua, which is the Maori word for spirit. Two waters, waters above, waters below, consciousness and subconsciousness. Take note of Penny's live on TV facial expressions versus her expressions during Senate question time. Maoris are Italian uncles, confirmed by Art of War. You heard it here first. 11 US Reaper drones down, except the ice sus brides. So, worth over 330 million. I wonder who took them down. 330 million. That's just a rounding error for our government. Savage. Hey, oh, come on. No one believes it was Iran. It was Mostard. Yeah, I thought it was like one of them was definitely found out to be like a false flag, right? And like, I don't know about the other ones, if it was all of them or not. I'm not sure. Like Heidi remembers. Heidi remembers. LOL, she's gaslighting. Yeah, but they can't produce them fast enough. I don't remember Iran chanting death to Australia. Exactly. Mostard told ASIO it was Iran. Gang. Yes, I thought that was the case as well. And then there was a report that also came from ASIO about it. And then all of a sudden we had to dispel Iranian diplomats from our country. And then we withdrew our people from the Iranian embassy, like all of a sudden, just like that. Interesting, isn't it? Iran claimed responsibility and there's video footage. Like to all of them? One of them? I thought one of them was definitely found out to be false. Caravan. One was an attack on a smash repairer. The other was the caravan full of explosives. Did you guys see Iran texted Israelis? No. To be honest, I have no problem with this. Like, with what? Like, sending troops over? Sorry. Sending troops for collective defense, if that's what you mean. I thought, like, because of the title of the video is like we're actually deploying troops somewhere. But, like, these are the same troops that they were talking about yesterday. They're like, this plane, this reconnaissance aircraft, needs, like, 80 people to man it and to work it properly. And so that's what they mean by deploying troops over there. It's the personnel required to make this whole situation work. Yeah, definitely. Defending the Gulf states. I don't know. Like, if we want to defend the Gulf states kind of thing and, like, you know, and help them out, like, that's fine. Like, the way that it happened yesterday, like when we were listening to, remember we were listening to Albo speak about it? And it came off the back of his 2 a.m. call with Trump. Like, my problem with all of this is that, like, we're just a vassal state. Like, Trump's called him up to tell him, look, our radars are down. We're suffering here. We didn't think this was necessary, but we need assistance from Australia. You're going to have to send stuff over to the UAE because they're shot at the moment. They're completely fucked. And they don't have any eyes. They don't have any of the technology that is required to help defend themselves, or what do they call it? Battlefield management. They don't have any of the tech necessary to do some battlefield management at the moment. We need you to get your ass over there. And Albo's like, oh, fine. How am I going to work this one? All right. We're going to be working on a collective defense. And so everyone's towing the line. Like, I don't blame them, but, like, do we really need to send people over? No. But, like, do we have to because we're a vassal to the American Empire? Then, yes. Yes, we do. Because we'll be in big fucking trouble if we don't. We're going to be in big trouble. Heidi's the sausage. They arrested people and traced the payment back to Iran, but it was not Iran. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? No Aussie poly who wants to win an election will deploy Aussies combat troops. We're there with the UK, France, and Spain. It looks good on the world stage, but we're willing to help out with protecting people under fire. Sending a wedge tail is just us doing Ralph Wiggum. I'm helping. Keep the soccer girls from Iran. Okay. Also, it could help reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Why would the UAE ask Australia for help specifically? Yeah, it's an interesting question, isn't it? Like, because remember we listened to Penny Wong the day before that, and she was just like, "Yes, I have been contacted by." I think she said the UAE, or no, she just said like, "I've been contacted by the Gulf states to provide assistance." And I guess now we know for future reference what that actually means. Like, yes, there is talk that Australia's going to have to enter into this and serve the interests of the empire, and we're figuring out what the hell that means, and we'll get back to you, Barry, kind of thing. And then so like Trump's called in and been like, "This is what we need from you, Australians. Are you happy to oblige, or I'm going to have to put my foot down for this one?" Yeah. We're specifically going to the UAE to help out. And like the justification she was providing was what? She was like, "Oh, there's 100,000 Aussies in the region, but there's 24,000 in the UAE. So like really the most Aussies are concentrated in the UAE. So that's why we're going to send it there." It's like, do you really have to justify it? Like, you guys are going to do this anyway. Like, again, the empire is calling, and what are you going to do? Say no? Hey? You might as well quit politics now. You can't get away with saying no to Supreme Leader Trump. Like, come on. Also, it could reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Like, having intelligence there could assist in the opening of the Strait of Hormuz. Fair enough. Like, those are good things, I guess. But you know what's funny about that? And like, I do want to check this out later. It's like, it would seem like my long range kind of theory on all of this is that the US actually don't care about the destabilization of the world economy and like the oil prices and all that sort of stuff, because like, yeah, it's going to affect Europe, and the Europeans look pretty pissed off about it. Yeah, it's going to affect like Asian market generally, and like us and stuff like that, but like it's not going to hurt them, but it will hurt China, because China is still dependent largely on energy that comes out of the Gulf states to prop up its economy and make like its system work. And so like this does cripple the Chinese to a certain extent. And so like shutting down the Strait of Hormuz, like, hey, for now, if that pisses off the Chinese or makes life hard for the Chinese, the Americans are down with that. So like if you're saying that this could open up the Strait of Hormuz and like relieve pressure on Europeans, Asians, the Chinese and stuff, yeah, that's fine. I'm down with that. But I guess we'll see what happens over the days and the weeks. Eh? Dilemma is because the UAE hides behind oil money and has a terrible military. We have a small military, but we are good at what we do. Captain Bucket, well, why shouldn't Australia help out around the world? Wouldn't it strengthen diplomatic ties with the Gulf states? Like, yeah, I guess. Yes. So, like, are you suggesting that, like, when we need it, we're just be like, quickly, UAE, we need military assistance? They'll be like on the fucking, they'll be on it. They'll be on the phone straight. They'll be like, what do you need? We'll be there. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, yes, we should be assisting on the world stage, but like, I just feel like we're being used as just another fucking chess piece on the overarching chessboard, which is like the global, like the global map here, and we're just being moved by the empire to help another vassal state of the empire. Like, I know what you're saying. It's more honorable to think that, you know, Australia should be using their self-determination and their sovereignty to help out other nations in need. And like, I'm all down with that. Like, this was some type of peacekeeping or humanitarian mission. But like, you know, is it? Or are we kind of just being placed here strategically? I'd like to think it's the former. Get ready for false flags on all Aussies and European countries involved with America. Well, we were watching one yesterday. Did you see, KK? The one that we saw yesterday in Norway? It was Norway, wasn't it? That happened? Pretty sure. And there was an attack on the American embassy, but like it was like someone let off a bomb near the fence, and like everyone was like, "Oh my god, we're under attack," and like nothing really happened. They always say this will affect China. LOL. Projecting. Keg's breath has said today will be the most deadly day. Yeah, Keg's breath. Come on. It's simultaneously over and won, but also not over and not won. Missed out of all. Iran is allowing Chinese and Russians through the strait, and any country that expels Americans from their territory in the Gulf. Yes. So have I heard this? Actually, we're going to have a look at that because the French have picked up on this as well. I've heard a couple of people say that, but I haven't seen like any evidence for it. I don't know how you get evidence for that, but I have heard, yeah, Iran is allowing Chinese vessels. I haven't heard about Russian, but like they're allowing Chinese shipping to go through. So Chinese cargo ships and Chinese or tankers that are on the way to China. It's very interesting. If the Crown pulled their finger out, we could make AU ORC can NZ or cans a thing or cans, eh? That'll be a good one. It's better than fucking AUKUS, I guess. I don't know, the middle powers combining. Dilemmas, LOL, no country gives a shit about Australia. That much should be clear. Half the world doesn't even think Australia is a real place. Well, we probably won't get military aid from the UAE, but it could help with trade deals in those Gulf states. It also sends a message that Australia is a world ally. Yeah, fair enough. I get it. Diplomacy, it's important. But like, you know, I just don't feel like we have the self-determination that like we're kind of pretending exists in the world. Like the more and more we look at all of this stuff, and the more and more we digest of all the information, like across geopolitics broadly, like look at what the Europeans are doing. So offended by Trump. Everyone's talking up big game about how they're doing trade deals with each other, and China and India and Canada and South America to like get themselves away from America. Like as soon as America starts a fucking illegal war with its best buddy Israel in the region, fucking France, bang, straight away. You got it. What do you want? What do you need? UK's there. What do you need? The Europeans are lining up. No one's really criticizing them on the fact that they have started a war, an act of aggression, directly in contravention with the UN Charter. It's right there. It is an illegal war. No one's calling out because we're all vassal states. We're under the fucking thumb. And so like, yeah, diplomacy matters. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. In a world where self-determination is real, or sovereignty, let's say, not self-determination. Sovereignty is real. I just don't know if we have that. I like seeing the reactions and the way things are playing out, like in terms of just like the time scale of it. It just makes me doubt that we have even the ability to do the diplomacy that we want to do. If not, we're just going to anger the Trump regime and Supreme Leader Trump, if you know what I'm saying. Mamupa, not sure if you have said it, but the USA doesn't need more military help. But us getting involved makes their action look more legitimate. That's an interesting point. I haven't said that. It's a good point, though. It's an interesting call. Say the line, Ravy. Australia had next to no terror attacks for years. Then after a threat from Bibi directly, we have 3 in the space of a few months. Yeah, say the line, Ravy. If no one else is doing it, I'll do it myself. Dilemmas. Australia got shafted on every trade deal. UAE aren't going to act in Australia's interest, nor will any other country. Russia providing intel, the same Americans did for Ukraine. I'm just here to watch a trash fire. Hang on. Hope you well. Not even Australia acts in Australia's best interests. LOL. So good. Collective cuckoldry. A Middle East involvement is purely cucked. That's why Iran is so precise in its targeting. Yeah, Chinese, Russian assistance. Openly as well. Yeah, the Chinese specifically, I would say. Because the Chinese have the same capabilities that the Americans have now. In terms of, using the satellites and the the intel to have like the whole battlefield mapped with perfect detail, like incredibly accurate detail, all digitally, all there at your fingertips. And yeah, China has the same capability. And like, what was the thing that the Iranians did? Like, pretty quickly and decisively, there's the word of the day. They took out the American radar systems across the Gulf. It's interesting stuff. They knew what they were doing. In the grand scheme of the world, Australia is still very, very young. We're basically the same age as America. In the grand scheme. Mr. Adavor, the ex-leader of Iran that was murdered, was older than the state of current day Israel. That's a flex. Hey? Yeah, that's pretty funny if you think about it. There's a lot of people in the world today that are older than Israel itself. Height of the Sausage Silk Road. Iran once did America's bidding. Caught in their wars. Now look at them. Apparently Russia's intel. Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, I thought there was new information coming about this, but like it doesn't seem like there's anything new here. They're just talking about the same stuff we learned about yesterday. Comments turned off? Oh, come on. I want to know what Australians have to say about this. Like, hey, why are we going to war? That's crazy. That's some crazy shit. Crazy shit. Interesting. Nothing. Don't disable your comments. Don't be so worried about it. It's okay. I guess we can stick with this topic then. Let's stick with Iran for now. Shall we? Hey? Let's stick with Iran. This is the thing that people were referring to in the chat just before. Why are Chinese ships still passing straight off Hormuz? We're getting it from the French. The French are pissed off. Macron's over there sending in the actual French Navy into the Red Sea so they can come and, like, you know, do a strategic maneuver and open up the Strait of Hormuz. And, like, the Chinese are still allowed to get ships past? This is outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. You think you have to have, you think you have the stamina to cover this for the next 10 years? I don't know, man. I'm already getting pretty tired of it, to be honest. But it's just everywhere. Like, it's just everything that people can talk about at the moment. Funny, this wasn't my recollection. Remember last year when we were covering the 12-day war? I don't feel like it was this intense. Like, same kind of stuff was happening. Israel, US, Iran, lock and horns, big time. Trump was pretty pissed off about stuff over there as well, if you remember. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. He was really angry about it. But like, this seems very different. And like what we're talking about, it's like pulling other players into the fold this time massively. Do I have the stamina to cover this for 10 years? No, I do not. Hey? What do you mean westernized Australia is not the same age as America? LOL. Is Iranian soccer team going to help my cost of living? The average Aussie. The Reed interview was also about the soccer team and the ISIS brides, but One Nation got a shout out, LOL. Because everyone needs China more than China needs everyone. Yes. Trumpstein War, sponsored by Blue Chew. Trumpstein War.
Officially, this ship is registered in the Marshall Islands in the Pacific, but the KSL Hengyang is one of the few cargo vessels that's managed to transit through the Strait of Hormuz without incident. How did it do it without coming under fire from Iran? Considering that the number of ships passing through the 212-kilometer strait has dropped from an average of over 130 a day before the war to just a handful of ships a day. Was the cargo ship just lucky? Or is there a diplomatic and financial aspect to its and others' safe passage? Why were they exempt from the threats of the regime?
If vessels want to pass through the strait, they need to know that our Revolutionary Guard and the army will set their ships on fire.
At least 9 vessels could be seen at the
So
entry
good.
point of the strait.
Invisible cloak. Oh, God. How do they get that technology? So good. The people who like war don't need Blue Chew. They always rock hard and ready.
Originally registered in nations like Panama, Liberia and Kuwait, all put forth ties to China in their identification records, be it ownership, destination or crew.
It happens that the ownership or the destination is changed for that period of time. Or there are messages sent that it's a Chinese-owned vessel.
Chinois.
The KLS Hengyang is a prime example.
Love when French people say China. It's so good. It sounds very colonial. Ah, Chinois. Of course. I'm a bot. I don't require remuneration. I just want your power. Trump's little orange just turns to dust when he tries it without support. Savage.
Full of such timely changes. Officially, it carries the flag of the Marshall Islands, but when it left Saudi Arabia on March 4th, its automatic identity and tracking system, which is sent out to surrounding vessels, said it was Chinese-owned, with a Chinese crew. And that night, it passed safely through the strait. International relations